For many people, their canine companions are a beloved and irreplaceable member of their family. There is something so endearing and personable about dogs, which perhaps explains why the companionship between man and dog has endured for thousands of years. Whilst they may not communicate with us in words, dogs are more than capable of conveying their emotions and thoughts through verbal cues and non-verbal actions. People who have a canine companion have probably noticed that their dog interacts differently with strangers they come across, and they may bark at some while they are silent with others. The question that inevitably arises is, why do dogs react differently to different people? We're passionate about creating informative and insightful content, so please subscribe to this channel because you don't want to miss a thing. Generally, when a dog barks, they are attempting to convey a serious message or overwhelming emotion. Instinctively, dogs are protectors and hunters, which is why they are constantly aware of their surroundings and particularly attentive when they come across a stranger. However, certain strangers will elicit growls or barks from a dog, whilst others will be acknowledged with just a cautionary stare or a friendly greeting. It is important to keep in mind that barks can have a range of meanings. For example, they may indicate aggression or defensiveness, anxiety or fear, and perhaps even excitement. For thousands of years, dogs were domesticated to not only be companions, but protectors and guardians as well. It is for this reason that many dogs continue to be wary and defensive in situations which they are unfamiliar with, and this applies to when they come across a stranger as well. The fear of the unknown is one which is especially prevalent in younger dogs or dogs which have not been adequately socialized prior to meeting different people. Even if a dog is older and has been thoroughly socialized, there may be certain circumstances where they respond with anxiety and unease anyway. For example, it has been found that dogs will be more reactive when they see strangers with an appearance or scent they are not familiar with. At the end of the day, individuals differ dramatically from one another when it comes to their features, height, and the way they move and speak, and even the way in which they dress. Any of these could appear intimidating to a dog if they're not used to them, although there are certain characteristics which have a greater likelihood of triggering an aggressive or defensive reaction. Accessories such as sunglasses or hats can obstruct someone's appearance and therefore unsettle a dog. Considering that dogs have an incredibly sensitive sense of smell, particularly strong scents can also aggravate them. One common culprit is smoke, but shampoos, deodorants, perfumes, and even the food you've just eaten can potentially set a dog on edge. A particularly interesting observation is that dogs seem to be much more nervous around adult men. There are a number of reasons for this. Adult men are considerably taller, have a deeper voice, and facial hair such as beards and mustaches. A dog can also develop an aversion to particular features, scents, sounds, or clothing due to a traumatic or unpleasant experience. Anyone they come across who has any of those characteristics will therefore have a negative association with that certain memory. Some dogs will be afraid of a stranger simply because they remind them of someone who mistreated or abused them in the past, and they will bark at them out of either anger or fear. It may be that a dog develops a general distrust for a broad group of people. For example, if they were neglected by a man, then they may have an ingrained fear of every unfamiliar man. Of course, dogs can be territorial and protective when it comes to their family. This is particularly relevant for breeds which were domesticated especially for that purpose, such as herding and terrier breeds. They tend to possess powerful instincts which result in them reacting defensively to anyone who they believe is overstepping certain boundaries or acting in a way which threatens the dog or their family. What's more, this protective and territorial reaction isn't necessarily aggressive, and it can instead represent excitement or alertness. Many people with canine companions have noticed that their dogs are excellent judges of character, something which has been corroborated by scientific studies. One explanation for this is that dogs are constantly monitoring social interactions and are perceptive when it comes to verbal and behavioral cues. They may determine whether someone is trustworthy or not and bark at them accordingly, usually by observing the stranger's behavior and perhaps even picking up on their owner's attitude and emotions. When it comes to companionship, loyalty, and trust, dogs are truly unparalleled. As fulfilling as this relationship may be, it is essential that you socialize your dog as well as you can so that it can regulate and control its interactions with strangers. This will not only ensure that things are more comfortable for yourself and the people around you, but when your dog knows it doesn't have to be constantly defensive and protective, then it will also have the opportunity to be comfortable and at ease. We hope that you found this informative and relevant, and if you did, then please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this.